Reddit Volume 11, baby. This is actually coming out like a week after I started posting Reddit shorts to YouTube. Like the year anniversary. That's just said so ridiculously roundabout. But who cares? You're stuck here. Yeah. Enjoy. Why was that one guy fired from your work? Work at a payroll company. We had an employee who switched like 20 direct deposits to her own account. He spent the entire time playing a game on his own handheld console instead of testing the game we were doing overtime to actually test. Bro, you're a game tester. Just play the game. He shouted, cursed at, and invited the cleaning guy to meet him outside to fight because he was denied access to the restroom until it was fully cleaned. Well, there was the new CFO who was shown the door at lunchtime on his first day. Then the stock email about do not use the corporate internet to visit inappropriate sites was sent out. He left to kill his wife. Why did that one kid get expelled? Running through the cafeteria at lunch naked with a backpack on that he set on fire. Final straw was when he lit a cigarette in French class and then refused to put it out. Okay, but like, he was in French class. Planned a food fight that turned into a riot with property damage and then fled from the police. For lifting up his shorts and exposing his balls to the leg of the principal while said principal was escorting potential investors for the school. I believe that's called sneaky nut. Playing kickball in gym class, kid kicked his shoe off and his bag of weed came flying out right at the teacher's feet. Yet getting caught having sex in the gymnastics room. He stabbed another kid with a letter opener he made in shop class. We didn't make letter openers in shop class after that. What's an actual victimless crime? Sleeping in your car when you are too drunk and can't drive. Eating food out of someone's garbage. Downloading very old games that are no longer available for sale. Owning 7 dildos in Texas. Is that an actual law? Putting coins in someone else's parking meter. Downloading your car. Eating a magic mushroom you found in nature. Setting up a lemonade stand without a vendor's license. Hanging a clothesline, collecting rainwater, or planting a garden in your yard. Why did you get fired? I went to the emergency room instead of work. Came back with an ER note and they said, we won't be needing that. Can you come with us? I was 18 and it was my first full-time job. That's like surely illegal. I was 16 and looking to work at a Dairy Queen as my first job. My mum drove me to the interview and I was super nervous. She looked me in the eyes and said, just be honest and be yourself. You'll do fine. Walked into the interview and when he asked me, how long do you think you'll work here? I responded, until something better comes along. Business I went to long ago was hiring and I got the job. Right after I signed all the paperwork, the department manager comes in and asks who I am. I tell him I was just hired as a temp. Manager says he never authorized any hiring and fired both me and my boss on the spot. What is it that you invested thousands of hours and now is pointless? I got a BS in biochemistry, then drove a forklift for 14 years, now I'm an electrician. Moderated a subreddit. Yeah, take note. I know all the tricks to make a website look as good in Internet Explorer 6 as in Chrome, Safari, or Opera. Took me 8 years to get my chemical engineering degree. I never worked a single day as a chemical engineer. I'm a data analyst now. Minecraft. From 2011 to probably 2018 to 19, it was like my go-to depression game. When my depression got bad, some days I'd play for 12 hours. Built a huge city with districts, multiple tall buildings, rail system, and mob zoo, etc. I kind of miss it sometimes. That sounds like a coping mechanism, and there are much worse coping mechanisms. What's the worst financial decision you've seen someone make? I knew someone who got a loan for their wedding, but decided to blow it all at a casino. Now they have a loan for $20,000 to pay off and nothing to show for it. What an idiot. A friend of mine who is very bad with money and his girlfriend bought some sort of water filtration system from a door-to-door salesman. He has to pay something like $300 a month for this filtration system. A dude who owned a small convenience store in our town spent like $20,000 on fidget spinners. He was posting for like a year, begging people to buy them as he would lose his business and his marriage was falling apart due to it. A guy in my fraternity got $30,000 for an undisclosed reason. I'm guessing a family death or something, and he bet it all on the Yankees winning one game. They lost. If someone gave you $1,000 and said you must use this to buy a gift for yourself, what would you buy? Damn, someone really just like listed out everything that they would do. A nice guitar. Australian? You'd probably get a pretty good guitar. Lego UCS Millennium Falcon. A telescope for some stargazing. A new laptop or an iPad. Some really nice bedding that isn't on sale / clearance. A few months of insulin. Probably one of those inflatable hot tub things with all the options. I know it's not as good as the real deal hot tub, but at the $1,000 price point, that's what I'd take. What would you tell your 18-year-old self? It won't grow anymore. Don't get arrested in Mexico. You are so damn hot and you don't know it. Don't do meth, you fucking idiots. It's 2006, so holy shit, buy as much stock in Apple/Google as possible and invest in Bitcoin in 2009. Pot becomes legal when you're 37. Irish Joe is gonna offer you something called Bitcoin as payment for an eighth. You want to say no because last time he paid you with gold coins and you're tired of his leprechaun bullshit. What's the most physically painful thing that has happened to you? Salmonella. It feels like acid is eating your insides. Gallstones. I was actually so sure I was dying that I couldn't believe I didn't. Jeez. Novocaine running out during a cavity drilling. Sneezing with 3 broken ribs. Pancreatitis and torn ACL. Wouldn't wish that pain on my worst enemy. I was 14 and riding a bike barefoot. Put my foot in the spoke and tore my big toe completely off. An RPG blast blowing out a 4-inch section of my forearm bone. What's the worst experience you've had with a roommate? Dude kept falling asleep while smoking cigarettes. I got mad every time and woke him up. He bought me a fire extinguisher at a yard sale. I lived in a house with a guy who let his friend hide from the cops in our basement. The friend had shot and killed 2 people in a robbery. Freshman year of college, she came back drunk night 5 and pissed on our carpet and some of my clothes. He played League of Legends all night. If the game didn't go his way, he would scream with frustration and beat his fist on the desk, no matter what time of the night it was. Average League of Legends player. What is the worst possible drink to order at a bar? You know what's good? Ice cold chocolate milk from the bar from a bottle. Shut up, you loser. I live in an island, so it shows a painful lack of awareness when a tourist orders an Irish car bomb. Ramus Gin Fizz. It's a New Orleans drink that's so labor-intensive, NOLA bars often have specialized paint shaker-like machines to shake the drink for 10 minutes so they don't have to. I saw a shot called a smoker's cough. If I remember right, it was mayo and Jaeger. A single plum floating in perfume served in a man's hat. What caused your last breakup? Wife and I were attending couples therapy. The therapist said that she was being literally abusive to me. My then wife demanded a new therapist. Realized I wasn't gay. Usually it's the other way around. How does that happen? She tried to stab me. Started hiding her phone, looked at her phone, kicked her out. Both of us went on an out-of-state vacation around the same time. I visited family, she cheated on me. I used his iPad while he was out of town and found nudes of me sent to several of our mutuals, including his father? What was your "sir, this is a Wendy's" moment? Work in radio. Got a call on the contest line one time. Yeah, I need a hotel room, said the caller. Okay, how would you like me to help you? Well, book me one. You're aware you call your radio station's contest line, right? Yeah. Don't you book hotel rooms for rock stars when they do a show in town? Oh my god. I was working at McDonald's and this lady said, "Can I get the Wendy's 4 for $4?" I said, "Ma'am, this is at McDonald's." And without a moment's hesitation, she replied, "Indeed it is. Can I get a Big Mac?" Had a guy come into my place of work yesterday, pissed off because he issued his payment date and had to pay extra to turn his phone back on. He said something along the lines of, "It was due at midnight and y'all aren't open at midnight, so how was I supposed to pay?" And he screamed, "Well, unlike you, I actually have a job at my job whilst doing my job." What infamous movie plot hole has an explanation that you're tired of explaining? Not a bad one, but the DeLorean in Back to the Future always being brought up in conversations as, "Actually, it was a really crappy car." Like, yes, that was the joke. Friends, how did they pay for that apartment on their salary in New York? The very first episode, Monica mentions that her grandma owned the apartment and she would never be able to afford it otherwise. People sometimes wonder how Indiana Jones initially remained skeptical of the mystical events happening in the second film, when he just witnessed a magical ark mass killing a bunch of Nazis in the first film. That's because the second film is a prequel. What seems like snake oil, but is actually 100% legit. Meditation. When I was an alcoholic and drug abuser, my friend used to tell me about meditation to help with anxiety and stress. I thought, bitch, we use Xanax around here. No one's got time to meditate. We no longer use Xanax and have the time to meditate. The whole hold your breath to get rid of hiccups trick. Thing is, most people just don't know the proper way to do it or why it works. It's got nothing to do with simply holding your breath. It's got to do with using your lungs to hold down the diaphragm and stop it from spasming. Bought a daylight lamp last winter because I get depressed when it's dark outside for long periods of time. Got one off Amazon for €40, and now I can't live without it in the winter. What's the most out of touch thing a rich person has said to you? Isn't it funny we're the same age, but my dad bought me a condo and you have to work 2 jobs? I was between jobs and a bunch of my friends told me that I should take the time to go travel the world. You motherfuckers thought the reason I wasn't traveling the world is because I hadn't thought of it? Long ago, when I was a server in a country club, I was very new to properly opening wine bottles, as I was using my key to take off the foil and gash the webbing on my hand bad. I put down the bottle and was about to leave when he says, "Who told you to stop pouring?" I picked it up, poured the wine, dribbling blood all over the white tablecloth, went outside, had a smoke, and thought about my life. What has simultaneously got worse and more expensive? Tipping. For anything. Girl wanted a 20% tip to hand me a pre-made pizza at Pizza Hut? Hot Pockets. Sorry, that's such a Reddit reply. They used to be pretty good, even cooked in a microwave. Now they're made with worse quality bread, barely have half as much meat, don't cook well, and they have cost about 50 cents more. American candy bars. They're downright tiny now and cost 2 to 3 times as much as they did 10 years ago. Appliances. Washers, dryers, refrigerators. But hey, if it doesn't break, how can they sell you a new one? I spent $42 for 3 sandwiches at Subway recently. What is the fastest way you've seen someone get fired? My first job was in a small grocery store and my boss asked a co-worker to do the dishes in the bakery. I only do my own dishes. Somebody else put these here, so I'm not doing them. I'm serious. Fire me if you want. I won't do them. Boss says, okay then, don't bother finishing your shift. How does supervisor start selling Amway from his office? Hinted at favorable treatment for anyone who would buy. Brought into HR, and when they asked if it was true, he pulled out a catalog and tried to sell them something. I saw a coworker once make a big boobs gesture as our boss's wife walked past with our boss walking right behind her. He was packing his shit within 5 minutes. What is something your teacher did in school that you're still salty about? I had a teacher accuse me and a classmate of cheating on an exam because we had the same answer. It was multiple choice test and she was upset we both had it correct. Isn't that the point of a test? In middle school, I did a display with real fossils that my parents had let me borrow. The teacher was insistent that I sell the fossils to him, but I refused, so the teacher gave me an F. My English teacher admitted to marking down all my work by a grade because I think you could do better. Bitch, I was doing better and you made it look like I wasn't. What can a stranger do in public that will immediately make you judge them? Saw a person unloading their groceries, just push their cart into the next parking space and drive off. Defecate in the middle of the street. Not to be like racist, but like, what country are you from where that happens? Get in people's way to film a TikTok. Watch a video on full blast without headphones where it was very clearly inappropriate. An act of kindness, especially one that doesn't benefit that person. How they treat people in customer service, like store clerks or waiters. Chill man, he's gonna refill your drink, give him a second. How did that teacher get fired at your school? Teacher at my school wasn't quite right. Student and staff had been mentioning things regularly to the deputies. One day she was supervising an exam and she shit herself in the classroom. They continued supervising. Got caught getting high in her car between classes. She got caught making meth when her in-home meth lab blew up. My name is Skylar White, yo! Use a sick day rather than a vacation day to fly to Japan to fight in MMA. Got caught and was fired for improper use of time off. Robbed the bank wearing the same clothes he wore to school that day. What is the worst lie you caught your parents telling? I won't get mad at you. Up until I was 8 years old, they told me that daddy was away at college. We would go see him on weekends. Found out later that he was in prison. I wondered why we could only talk to him behind glass on a telephone. That my mother was schizophrenic. She was completely convinced that my father had a secret second family. She was diagnosed and medicated for years. He did have a second family. My dad used to tell me that he learned all of his cool tricks and skills in daddy's school. I'm now 28, married, and still have not been enrolled. What is your most expensive mistake? Selling my condo 8 years ago to move in with my now ex-girlfriend. I took a leave of absence from massage therapy school. Hold on, they have a school for getting a massage? Marrying my wife! She's like a tropical storm, came wild and wet, and when she left, she took the house and the car. I wish that was a joke. I'm in finance. I bought 100 shares of a little company because it pissed me off that Blockbuster charged me $88 in late fees. We didn't really have much money back then, so we poorly budgeted. I sold them for a $2,000 profit. Damn Netflix, I sure could use that $700,000 I missed out on. What film made you say, holy shit, there is still an hour left? Australia. I thought it was a pretty decent western and the scene of the cattle running up the ramp into the boat was a nice ending note. Then World War II started. Jurassic World Dominion felt like it was 6 hours long. Pearl Harbor. I was waiting for the end credits and suddenly realized there was 1.5 hours left in the movie. I was watching Justice League for the second time a couple months ago and there were quite a few scenes that I didn't remember. And about halfway through I started thinking I've been sitting here a long time and then I realized I was watching the Zack Snyder 4-hour version. what's definitely getting out of hand? The cost to simply be alive and take care of yourself. Short videos on every social media app destroys your attention span and critical thinking abilities, mainly for children that grow... Hey, are you still listening? Mainly for children that grow up with these apps watching endless short videos. Monthly subscriptions, not just streaming services, software, games, and even vehicle features. Comment sections on social media. They used to be pretty fun to scroll through and engage with. Now it's mostly full of insufferable people who get off on arguing with strangers online, picking fights over literally anything. Like I kind of said at the start, this has been like a year of posting Reddit shorts, and this is the 11th volume. It's kind of crazy that it's been going this long. Like I was gonna give up. That's what it sounds like. Who knows, I could have. That's how YouTube channels work, usually. Anyway, if you've been around, you know, whenever you've been around, you know, if you've been around from the start, thanks so much for watching. That's so cool. If you're recent, you know, that's not as cool, because being around from the start, that's like, hey, you're day one, you know, but also like, thanks for watching now. I'm just rambling. This is where I'm at. Hey guys, I'm in my chair. I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching this video. I hope to... I'm not gonna see you watching, but I hope you watch more videos, and I hope you stick around. That's it. Bye.